Welcome to Lovington Wildcat Lady Softball and Hobbs Lady Eagles Softball in Lovington this afternoon. This game is about to get underway. They are finishing up the announcement of the players' introductions on the field, and we're just about to have a break for the playing of the national anthem. So be ready. We will take a break coming up very shortly. I'm Dawn Morgan along with TJ Miracle. Welcome in, TJ.
Hey, thank you. Great to be here as my first softball game of the season. Looking forward to it, and we get a great Lee County battle.
Right. And we will take a break for the national anthem. We'll be right back to get this one started here in Lovington. Welcome back to Lovington Ladies Softball and Hobbs Eagle Ladies Softball as well here in Lovington. This game just about to get underway. I'm Dawn Morgan along with TJ Miracle. And you're out on the field, of course, Lovington as the home team, getting ready for Hobbs to get up to bat. And I'll pause for a moment.
After the ball game, we will be recognizing our seniors.
All right, this will be a senior recognition night after the game, so we probably will we may still have camera running for that, but that will be a little bit later. So, and we have a ball game to get through first, and let's tell you who is out in the field. We'll tell you the starting lineup as well. Coming up for Hobbs, batting first will be number 13, Kaya Boyle, playing second base. Number 8, Marissa Young, designated player, batting second for Hobbs. Number 3, Cameron Cantu, playing shortstop for Hobbs. Batting fourth is 16, Caruso Garcia, your first baseman. Batting fifth is number 7, Cameron Harrison, your catcher. Number 10 is Candace Harrison, your third baseman. She's batting sixth. Batting seventh for Hobbs, number 5, Riley Ralston, in center field. Batting eighth is number 1, Edith Chavez, playing right field, and batting ninth is number 14, and that will be Hannah Souter, playing left field, and batting for Kinsey Bennett, who is your starting pitcher. So it is Bennett who is on the pitcher, is pitching for Lovington, but coming up to bat first is Kaya Boyle for Hobbs, and your starting pitcher is Lainey Udahara for Lovington. Your catcher, Siena De Porto, Olguin on first, Morales on second, Corral on third, Hernandez on short. Second pitch coming in to Kaya Boyle, and that is going to be, actually it's 0-1 the count on her. Finishing the field is Annelie Chavarria in left field, Marquez in center, and Reyes in right for Lovington. Second pitch is in, and it's going to be a ball, so the count is even. No outs, of course, and it's actually 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 is the count on Kaya Boyle, leadoff hitter for Hobbs, and they are a team of sluggers, and she does make make it a grounder to shortstop and an error as Hernandez gets down on the ball. I don't know how she missed that. Hernandez got down on it right in front of it, and it just got through behind her and into left field. Chavarria making a good stop and a good throw, but Kaya Boyle reaches first on an E6. So that brings up number 8, Marissa Young, the designated player, up to the bat. She's a left-handed batter. With a runner on first, no outs. First pitch into Young is going to be a ball. So 1-0 is your count. Runner on first. It's Kaya Boyle. On deck is Cameron Cantu. In the hole is Caruso Garcia. And Lainey Urahara, your pitcher for Lovington. As we look out at the field, there's a pretty good steady wind from right to left across field, from right field over to left. And the pitch is in, and it's a call strike. So now your count is 1-1 on Young. Looking to move Hobbs around. Of course, Lovington looking to get their first out. The pitch is in, and it's a bunt. Coming up to field, it is Corral. Makes a good throw, gets the runner out, and then throws to third, and it's a bad throw, and nobody really there to cover. So Boyle, who got on an error, is going to reach third on a throwing error. She was moved to second on the bunt, which was successful. When you look at it that way, it was a sac bunt for the first out. And that puts a runner in scoring position. Boyle sitting on third, bringing up number 3, Cameron Cantu, your shortstop for Hobbs, up to the plate. So a runner on third, 1 out, and Cantu at the plate with De Porto on the mound, with Lainey Urahara on the mound for Lovington, and De Porto catching. That's your battery for Lovington, with that gusty wind from right to left. And she makes connections with the very first pitch she sees, pops it up to the right, out of play. And I know Olguin made a beeline over. Can't see what's going on. She may have hit the fence or something because she ran over, but the dugout is sort of blocking our view of that. But obviously she did not catch that, so it becomes a strike. So 0-1 is going to be the count as I catch my score bug up. 0-1 with 1 out now. Still, of course, no score yet. It's top of the first inning, and that's going to catch the corner for sure. That's going to be strike number 2. So not really a fast pitch at all. Not a lot of speed on it, but Lainey painted the outside corner. Cantu flinched. She gave it a look, but didn't swing. 0-2. She makes contact on this one, but it's going to be a foul as the ball left. It hit her bat and stayed in the box and then went off to the left. So her count 0-2. Of course, she's protecting the plate. And with 1 out and a run in scoring position on third, Cantu is certainly going to do her best to bring her in. And Urahara wants to get her out. Boy, that's a nice solid line drive out over the shortstop's head. It's going to score as Boyle comes across the plate, and that's a solid hit for Cantu. It's a single, an RBI single. And 1 run in, still just 1 out, brings up number 16, Caruso Garcia, to the plate. Caruso Garcia batting 4th in the cleanup spot for Hobbs. She plays first base. So no runner, the 1 runner on first now. Cantu there after the RBI single. Oh boy, that didn't miss the outside corner by much, but just enough to be called a ball. So that's going to be 0-1 the count on her. As I again adjust my score bug here. 1 run in, and that's Hobbs 1-0. Runner on first. And that's 2 balls, no strikes. This one's going to come in. A lot of sizzle on that. Urahara brought the heat, but it was just a little high and outside. So 3 straight balls. 3-0 the count on Garcia with a runner on first. You got to think, well, who knows? Hobbs is a team of sluggers, so the take sign may or may not be on. It was on all the way, and it's high and inside for ball 4 4 straight balls and a walk now, and that's going to put Cantu on second and Garcia on first. Brings up number 7, Cameron Harrison, the catcher, to the plate. Just the one out here in the top of the first inning. Hobbs batting. They're they've already put 1 run on the board, looking to continue that. Lovington wants to shut him down, get out of the inning. And a good pitch, was going to be a call strike anyway, and Harrison got a piece of it, fouled it back to the right for strike number 1. So 0-1 the count on her. 0-1 the count. 1 out, 1-0. Hobbs leading. And that's going to come in over the plate, but low. And De Porto threatens to throw, as dancing off of second base out there was Cantu. But she scrambled back, so runners stay at first and second. No throw, none necessary. Your count 1-1. This pitch comes in, and it's going to be a ball. The Lovington faithful didn't like that. They thought that should have been a strike. But 2-1 the count. Just to remind everybody, he knew that was unpopular, but he reminds everybody that's 2-1. And connection on that, it's going to get fouled off to the right, way out of play. So 2 strikes now, 2-2. It evens the count on Harrison. That's Cameron Harrison. There's also a Candace Harrison in the lineup and playing for Hobbs. In fact, she will bat next. So 2-2 your count. 1 out. Runners on first and second. Here comes the pitch. It's high and outside for ball 3. That evens up the count. So a full count now on your catcher, Cameron Harrison. Chance for Hobbs to continue to keep the scoring going in this inning. Chance for Lovington if there's not a force on any base, but certainly double playable ball if it's an infield ball. Oh, and just a little high and outside. So another walk. That's the second walk that Lainey Uehara has issued, and that's going to load them up. So runners on first, second, and third. Cantu on third, Garcia second, Harrison first, and that brings up number 10, Candace Harrison, your third baseman for Hobbs, up to the plate. Looks like there's going to be a runner, a pinch runner.
Courtesy
maybe?
runner coming in. I think, not sure. I think that's Martinez, number 15.
All right.
Didn't catch 15. The number, the ponytail over the numbers. So.
All right, and it's a little hard for me to see here, but if I can see it, I will. And number 15, Lottie Martinez.
I believe so.
All right. So she will pinch run for the catcher, Cameron Harrison, who got on base with a walk. So bases are loaded for Hobbs, just 1 out. Now there is a force on any base, so certainly double playable for Lovington with the right hit. And it's a high fly ball heading out to center field. She's going to have to make a good throw and send it in, but it is going to score 1 as it's a sac fly out to center field. Well played, though. And that's going to be the second out, but it does score 1. So a sac fly and RBI for Candace Harrison. And that's going to bring up Riley Ralston, the center fielder, to the plate now as Cantu cross the plate for Hobbs. Not Riley, Kylie. My apologies. I probably just wrote that K and looked like an R. Thank you. So Kylie Ralston, and the first ball comes in. It's a call strike for 1. All right, so 2 outs. Adjusting my score bug. 2 outs, and 0-1 is the count now on Kylie Ralston. That's going to be high and outside. Ralston is a left-handed batter. So 1-1 is your count on her. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Even count as Lainey Uehara wants to get out of trouble here. And right off the end of her bat, Kylie reaches and gets that one, fouls it off out of play over our heads to the left for strike number 2. So Uehara is 1 strike away from getting out of this inning and keeping the damage at just 2 runs. Ralston with 1-2 count, looking to protect the plate. And looking to bring in runners on first and third now for Hobbs. And a line drive shot over the head of Hernandez at short is going to score one, and it's going to move this. It is going to score one. So coming in was Caruso Garcia, and it moves Cameron Harrison over to, well, the pinch runner for Harrison. It moves her over to third, and Ralston gets on with a single. With a line drive single, and that brings number 1 Edith Chavez to the plate, playing right field for Hobbs, batting in the 8 spot. Oh, a nice line drive shot. It is fair. It goes far out into left field. That's going to score 1. That's going to score 2. The throw comes in, not in time, and that is going to be a 2 RBI double for Edith Chavez, who stands up and hits the very first pitch she sees. Well hit out into deep left field. And that is going to bring up number 14, Hannah Souter, to the plate. Chavez sitting out on second. Hobbs with a 4-0 lead now.
5-0.
5-0, sorry. I'm just now filling in that 5th slot in my book. So 5-0, yes, thank you. Number 14, Hannah Souter, up at the plate. First pitch is a strike. Still 2 outs. Now runner, just 1 runner.
Still
second.
Yep.
And she makes contact and a foul it off to the right. High fly foul over to the tennis courts. So 2 strikes now, 0-2. 0-2 on her, 2 outs. Still the top of the first. Hobbs coming in, proving their reputation as a slugging team. 5-0 now. 2 outs. Runner on second. And Souter at the plate. 2 strikes on her. And it comes in. It's going to be a ball. Third pitch to her is going to be a ball. So 1-2 is your count. There. Hannah Souter is batting in the 9th slot in place of the pitcher. Makes contact with this one as well, but fouls it back to right in front of us. Fouls it back into the center stands. So count remains on her, 1-2. So if she would manage to make it on base, that would bring the top of the lineup back up. Lovington would like to go ahead and get this batter out, and that's going to do it as a strikeout. So a strikeout and the 3rd out, but not before Hobbs manages to put 5 across the plate. So we're going to go to the bottom of the 1st inning, and Lovington coming up to bat. It's 5-0. It is Hobbs in the lead, and we'll be back with the bottom of the 1st inning. Lovington coming up to bat with more Hobbs Lady Eagle and Lovington Lady Wildcat softball right here from Lovington Field.
Back here at Lovington Lady Cat Field for the Lovington Lady Cats and the Hobbs Lady Eagles. For Hobbs in the top of the first, 5 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, and 1 runner left on base. It'll be Avery Marquez leading things off for Lovington. She'll be followed by Honey Morales, then Angelina Corral. And with the call, bottom of the 1st inning, here's Dawn Morgan.
Thank you very much. As Avery Marquez, your center fielder for Lovington is going to start things off, and they've got a little hole that they need to dig out of. So if Lovington can get up and start slugging and get some of those runs back, that's exactly what they need to do. So they're looking for their leadoff batter to get things going for them, and Marquez takes a look at the first pitch, does not swing. It is a call, strike one, so 0-1 the count on her. But she may have just been watching that one. It was a good solid pitch right over the outside corner. And that is Bennett on the mound for Hobbs. Good solid wood as Marcos was ready for that one. She pulled that way over to the left side, just out of play though. That ball had some sizzle on it, some pop off the bat. It ended up going all the way out to the left field fence, but it is strike two, just a long strike two for Avery Marquez. 0-2 the count on her, 5-0. Is your score. Hobbs in the lead. Lovington's first at bat. That pitch is going to be outside for ball one. So 1-2 the count. As Marquez gets set, she's a right-handed batter. Just a little cool breeze blowing this afternoon. Lots of sunshine though. Oh, and that's going to be in the dirt for ball number two. Bennett is your pitcher. Behind the plate for Hobbs is Cameron Harrison. You've got Garcia at first, Boyle on second, Cantu at short, Candace Harrison on third, Souter in left, Ralston center, and Chavez in right for Hobbs. And it's going to be outside as I could see that working. Bennett twisted her wrist a little bit. I think she was definitely intending to try to just throw a breaking ball over the outside, and it broke just too much. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. And let's see if he calls that one. Nope, just a 3 balls, 2 strikes. That was a full count. And nope, it did not clip the outside corner, although I think Bennett certainly thinks that it did. I was waiting to see what the call was. So a walk is going to put Marquez on first and give Lovington some hope as number 4, Honey Morales, your second baseman, comes up to the plate. So no outs, runner on first. Honey Morales looking to move a runner around or bring her in. And a nice pitch right over the outside corner. It's going to be just a little bit low. It did catch the corner, but I think maybe a little bit low for ball one.
So both pitchers struggling a little with consistency early in this one.
No outs. Shows bunt. Just a little too hard. She pushed that bat, and that was a fast ball with a little spin on it. So that ended up going just foul of the first base line. So that'll be strike one. So the count even now at 1-1 on Morales. But looking to move the runner around, even sacrificing, if necessary, an out to get on base and try to break this shutout and get Lovington's runs coming in. Oh, nice line drive is going to go right over Boyle. Boyle stretched but could not get it. That ball was out of reach, a sharply hit ball, and that's going to move Marquez all the way to third. Marquez very speedy. Marquez reached first on a walk, and Honey Morales has a single with a nicely hit ball just between second base and the second baseman up the middle. And that's going to bring number 13, Angela Corral, your third baseman for Lovington, up to bat. Runners at first and third. No score yet for Lovington, but the Lady Wildcats are looking to try to change that. And it's a grounder hit to shortstop. She goes and touches the base herself and then throws for a double play. Is very nicely turned there as Cantu picked up the ground ball on the move, ran over, touched second, and was throwing to first to Garcia all the while. Very nicely turned play, unfortunately for Lovington, as that is out 1 and 2. And that's going to bring number 77, Alexa Bell, your designated player in the cleanup spot, up to bat. So 2 outs now, and the bases are cleaned off. Alexa Bell takes the first pitch, swings at it, high pop fly, and it's going to be easily handled by Boyle at second base. So a pop out to the second baseman for the third out for Lovington. So it's 4 up, 3 down with no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and no nobody left on base, and that's going to mean it's 5-0 as we go into the top of the second inning. Hobbs coming up to bat again. I'm Don Morgan with TJ Miracle. We'll be back with more Lady Eagle and Lady Wildcat softball right here at Lovington Field. And welcome back to Lovington Field as we go into the top of the second inning with Hobbs coming up to bat. And in the bottom of the first, there was 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. And the first hit batter, we're back to Kaya Boyle, the leadoff batter, and she hits the first pitch. She sees a long fly ball way out in right field, but it is caught by Reyes for the first out. That brings up number 8, Marissa Young, a designated player, up to the bat. And she had a sac bunt her first time at bat. So she now has nobody on, 1 out, nobody on. And the first pitch comes into Young, and it's going to be in the dirt for ball 1. So 1 out. And now we're in the top. I'm catching up my score bug. Top of the second inning. 5-1 is your score. Hobbs leading. Lovington able to put 1 run on the board in their first at bat. This pitch is going to come in outside as Young is a left-handed batter, and that pitch way outside. So Udahara looking to probably throw a breaking ball to try to get to Young to chase, and she did not. So 0-2. Now Young getting a little piece of that on the end of the bat, fouls it back out of play over our heads for strike 1. So 1-2 now the count as 1 out. That long fly that Boyle hit. Her first up at bat, Boyle had gotten on base on an error, a grounder error. And this contact, and there's a high fly ball. It's going to go between right and center. Not playable. Both Reyes and Marquez went for that, but that was just a well-hit ball right between them, and that's going to put Young on base with a solid stand-up double. So a double puts her on.
Yeah, just a ringing shot out into the power alley with Cantu coming in.
Yeah, number 3, Cameron Cantu, your shortstop for Hobbs. She had an RBI single her first time up and crossed the plate for Hobbs, one of those 5 runs that Hobbs put over in their first at bat. And the first pitch comes in. It's going to be low and outside for ball 1. So still just the 1 out. And 1-0 the count. Second ball comes in, call, strike. So that evens the count on Cantu. 1-1, 1 out, 1 runner on. That is Young on a stand-up double, standing out on second base in scoring position for Hobbs. The pitch comes in. It's going to be just a little low and outside again for ball number 2. And Cantu gave it a look. She crouched to give it a look, flinched, but she did not offer. So 2-1 is the count. Runner on second. Hobbs would like to increase their lead. And this change-up pitch is a line drive shot over the second baseman out into right field, and it is going to score 1. So Cantu with an RBI single out in right field. And that's going to bring up number 16, Caruso Garcia, the first baseman, up to bat. So Cantu is on first. Young crossed the plate for Hobbs, and now it is 6-1 your score here in the top of the second inning. And fresh count. 1 out. Garcia walked her first time up and crossed the plate for Hobbs. First pitch into her is a strike right over the plate, and some pretty good heat on that. I think Lainey Udahara is thinking, wish that she might have wished that she hadn't thrown a changeup on that last pitch. And there's a throw down to second base. De Porto comes up out of the crouch, makes a nice throw, and it is Hernandez who comes over to cover, but the throw isn't in time. So Cantu steals second base after reaching on a solid single, puts Cantu in scoring position on second, and that pitch was a ball. So now it's 1-1, the count. And swung on a high pop infield fly. Coming up is Morales. Grabs that, no problem. So a pop to the second baseman to 4 is out number 2, and that's bringing 7 Cameron Harrison, the catcher, up to the plate for Hobbs. Harrison walked her last time out and crossed the plate for Hobbs, one of those 5 runs that the Lady Eagles put on the board in their first at bat. So 2 outs now, a runner at second, with fresh batter, no count, 2 outs. And this one is going to be a pop fly out of play over to the right for strike number 1. So 0-1 is the count on Harrison. 2 outs, top of the second inning, 6-1 your score. Hobbs is leading. Lovington would like to get this third out, get back in the dugout, and start trying to chip away again at that 5-run lead that Hobbs has. And the ball's going to come in, a changeup that stays up high and inside for ball 1. 1-1. I think Udahara thought she might get Harrison to chase on that. Harrison, careful eye, let it go. This one brings the heat, puts it over the right corner, but just a little low. So that's going to be ball number 2. 2-1 your count. If Harrison manages to get on base, that would bring up Candace Harrison to the plate. But Cameron, the catcher, is at bat right now. She swings at this one, makes contact, fouls it out of play off to the right. High foul pop. There's still tennis practice going on right next to the softball field. I think a lot of these softballs end up going over there. So 2-1 the count. Solid hit, a grounder to second base. Morales has got it, fires it over to first for out number 3. So 4-3 in the book for out number 3. And that is going to end the at-bat for Hobbs. They do manage to get 1 run on with on 1 hit.
2 hits.
2 hits. I'm looking at my book. Okay, a double and a single, 2 hits, and no errors, and 1 left on base. So we are going to go to the bottom of the second inning as Lovington comes up to bat, and Hobbs is leading 6-1. We'll be back with more Lady Wildcat, Lady Eagle softball here in Lovington. And welcome back to Lovington softball field. It is Lovington versus Hobbs this afternoon, and we go to the bottom of the second inning with Lovington coming up to bat. In that top of the first, again, Hobbs got one run on 2 hits. There were no errors, 1 left on base. And coming up to bat first for Lovington is number 10, Siena De Porto, your catcher. And this is her first at-bat, as Lovington only sent 4 batters up to the plate in their first time up at bat. But Siena is a catcher with a known good eye and a tendency to hit long balls. First pitch comes in, and it's going to be ball number 1. Let me get my score bug back. It's a little bit too big. Sorry. Doing a little, I can't get it back. So I'm going to let... As the next pitch comes in, swung on, hit, solid ball, but fielded well as Boyle goes to her knees to knock that one down and throws from her knees. A good, accurate throw over to first, and Siena De Porto with us. So 1 out. Thank you very much. 1 out. First pitch comes in, and it's going to be a ball. So 1-0 will be the count. 1-0 your count on Chavarria, left fielder. Lovington needing to populate the bases and get some runs back. They trail 6-1. She makes contact. A high foul ball coming out of the crouch is Cameron Harrison with a grab. She really had to, she threw off her mask and really had to follow that ball. The wind was kind of playing with that. It barely stayed in play. So a foul pop caught by the catcher. And that for the second out, that brings up number 9, Jocelyn Olguin, your first baseman, up to plate for Lovington. So 2 outs now. 2 outs. Olguin, of course, first time at bat in this game. Lovington put 1 on the board in their first at bat. They're looking to try to chip away at Hobbs' lead. And Olguin swings at the first pitch she sees for strike 1. Swing and a miss. 0-1 the count. Lovington needing to get a 2-out rally going here. Bennett has a little something to say about that, but her next pitch comes in, and it's going to be high. It was over the plate, but high for ball number 1. Bennett works pretty quickly. She waits for the batter to get in the box and then generally pitches pretty quickly after that. A windmill pitcher, right-handed pitcher. Ball passes by her hip twice. And throws this one. It's over the plate, but a little low. So ball number 2. So 2-1 the count now on Olguin. 2 outs, nobody on base. 6-1 is your score. Hobbs leading this one on a breezy, cool, but sunny afternoon here at Lovington Field. Swing and a miss as Bennett took a little something off of that, and Olguin was anxious and ahead of that ball. So 2-2 the count now. So Lovington, yes, they're getting anxious. They know that with each out, the clock is ticking, and they need to get back into this game. Makes contact with the ball, hits a little grounder that ends up rolling foul just in front of the third base. So that's just going to remain. That's going to be strike 2, remaining 2-2 the count. As Olguin wants to get a 2-out, 2-strike, 2-out rally going. Bennett would like to end the inning and keep the Hobbs bats going. She takes a little something off of it and throws an outside ball thinking that she might get Olguin to chase. Did not, so it evens up the count, 3-2. Full count, nobody on, 2 outs. Swing and a good shot, a grounder, hard grounder hit right between shortstop and third base, but well fielded out there.
Into the box, number 5, Leila Hernandez.
Souter fielded that and threw that in, but it's a nice single as Jocelyn Olguin takes first base on a solid shot there. And brings up number 5, Leila Hernandez, the shortstop, up to bat. So 2 outs, 1 runner on. And first pitch comes in, and it is going to be a ball. So 1-0, your count, 2 outs, bottom of the second inning. A runner, that's Olguin out on first. Oh, and makes contact with it. Really becomes a swinging bunt as she was swinging away, but the bat just kind of tipped the ball a little bit, became a swinging bunt that ended up rolling foul, so that's just going to be a strike. So Hernandez with a 1-1 count. 2 outs, runner on first. Hernandez really wanting to move that runner around, try to bring her in. And that's going to be a ball as Bennett took a little something off of that, trying for a breaking ball to hit the corner, and it went just a little outside. So 2-1 is your count. As Hernandez carefully watched that one with 1 strike on her. Now she's got 2 because she swung a little bit under that ball and it fouled straight away. A high foul ball right over our heads here for strike number 2. So 2-2 the count. Again, Olguin had a 3-2 count on her when she hit that single. So Hernandez looking to follow in her footsteps and try to get a 2-out hit, 2-out, 2-strike hit. That's going to be a ball high and outside. Bennett misses on that one. In fact, Cameron Harrison came out of the crouch and gave a good look down to that first base line there. Olguin had her eye on it, thinking that that ball might get out of, get behind her, but it did not. So she stays put. And a well-hit ball. Oh, and they're going to say it's fair because Candace Harrison over there, it would have been a foul ball, but she put her glove down and touched that ball before just before it managed to go foul. And instead, it becomes a hit. And that moves Olguin to third, and Hernandez takes second. Number 2, Annelie Reyes, your right fielder, coming up to plate. So Lovington has gotten this little 2-out rally going that we talked about, the fact that they needed to do that if they want to try to chip in. And she hits the first she sees. It's a pop, and coming up to handle that easily is Candace Harrison. So a little pop, infield pop fly to the third baseman ends that inning and that chance. So they leave him on the bases with 1 hit. There were no runs on 1 hit and
2 hits.
2 hits. Yeah, I'm sorry. Single, yep. And of course the Leila Hernandez had a hit as well. So no runs on 2 hits and 2 left on base. So that is going to send us to the top of the 3rd inning. Hobbs coming up to bat. And we will be back. Your score remains 6-1. Hobbs leading, and we'll be back with more Lady Eagle, Lady Wildcat softball from Lovington.
Welcome back to Hobbs and Lovington softball from the Walmart Digital and One Radio Square. Bottom of the second, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on for the Lady Cats, and it'll be Harrison, Ralston, and Chavez due up for the Lady Eagles as we go to the 3rd. Hobbs leading 6-1 with the call. Dawn Morgan.
Thank you very much, DJ. Number 10, Candace Harrison coming up to bat. She hit a sac fly her first time at bat. This is her 2nd time at the plate for Lovington. Leadoff batter in this top of the 3rd for Hobbs. Leadoff batter hits the first pitch she sees. And again, it becomes kind of a swinging bunt as it rolls out to the mound. And Leni Urahara picks that up, fires it over to first base, 1-3 for the first out. And that's going to bring up number 5, Kylie Ralston, center fielder, to the plate for Hobbs. She hit a single and ended up scoring a run for Hobbs, her first time at bat. She comes into this one. All right, so 1 out. And the pitch comes in. A lot of pop in the glove, but it's a ball. So 1-0 your count on Ralston. Here we are, top of the 3rd inning. Hobbs is leading 6-1. And that, some contact on the end of the bats, and it was a little bit late as well, so it's fouled out of play over in the left field, just beyond the dugout. So it becomes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 on Ralston, your center fielder for Hobbs. Lovington threatened, and they're looking at probably Coach McCall looking at those leaving 2 runners on base in their at-bat, and that's kind of tough when you're down 6-1. You could certainly have used those, but as it was, that was a little 2-out rally for Lovington there in their at-bat, the bottom of the 2nd inning. It just they weren't quite able to keep it going long enough. So that ball was hit and fouled out of play for strike number 2. 1-2 the count now on Ralston, 1 out, and again makes contact at the end of the bat, kind of protecting the plate at this point. And it goes out of, it's fouled out of play over the Hobbs dugout. So 1-2 your count still. Ralston, second batter that Lainey Urahara is facing in this top of the 3rd inning. And she throws a changeup. Oh, it hits the outside of the plate, and a call strike 3 becomes the 2nd strikeout for Urahara of this game. And that is going to bring up number 1, Edith Chavez, your right fielder, up to bat for for Hobbs rather. Chavez hit a double, a 2 RBI double, her first time up. So Hobbs wants to get a little 2-out rally going here. So 2 outs, and the first pitch is going to be a strike. So 0-1 on Chavez, as I think Lainey Urahara feeling confident after that strikeout with a lot of sizzle in that, a little pop in that glove. She just misses the outside corner with that pitch. So 1-1 is your count. 2 outs here. Top of the 3rd. Hobbs leading 6-1 over Lovington. Nobody on. And solid contact is going to be kind of a dribbler. Oh, and a bad throw, as just getting to it was Hernandez. And really, I think she was feeling the pressure, knowing that she was getting to that ball late. It just died. It came off the end of the bat, and it looked like it was going to be a line drive, and then it just died. So Hernandez fielding that with an error on the throw is going to put Chavez on first base. And that brings up number 14, Hannah Souter, the left fielder, up to bat for Hobbs. She struck out her last time. She's a right-handed batter. First pitch comes in over the plate. Nice speed on that. 0-1 now. So 2 outs, 1 runner on. 0-1 the count on Souter. She's your designated. She's pitching in place of Bennett, the pitcher, and she swings and misses. So 2 strikes now. 2 strikes on Souter, 0-2, 2 outs. First out was a throw out. First out was a pitcher to first baseman. Second was a strikeout. And now 0-2 count. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So 3 strikeouts now as Lainey Urahara finding her stride against Hobbs. And it's 4 up, 3 down. So that's going to be no runs on no hits because Chavez went to
reached on
an error. So 1 error, 1 no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base. And that's going to put us at the bottom of the 3rd inning. Lovington coming up to bat. They trail 6-1, and we'll be back with more Lady Eagle, Lady Wildcat softball here at Lovington Field. And in the
Number 3,
top of the third
Avery
inning,
Marquez.
Hobbs scored no runs on
You
one
ready?
hit, one error, one left on base,
Let's
and that
do it.
brings up the bottom of the third inning. Lovington up to bat, and it's going to be the top of the lineup. Top of the lineup. So fourth inning, or bottom of the third rather, as I adjust my score bug here. Bottom of the third inning, no outs. Having trouble with one of my little scoring things. And top of the lineup, number 3, Avery Marquez, your center fielder for Lovington, up to the plate. She walked her first time up and ended up scoring what has turned out to be the only run of this game so far for Lovington. And she's looking to reach base and maybe get something started for Lovington again, but she swings and misses as that was a changeup, and I'm not sure that was anything. I think that may have come off of the Bennett's hand a little funny and ended up being a swing and a miss. So strike one.
Strike two.
Strike two, rather. So 0-2 the count quickly on Marquez. And this is going to be high and outside for ball one. Plenty of speed on that, but not in the zone. And even with 2 strikes on her, Marquez knew that was not close enough to swing at. So she does not offer. 1-2 the count, though, on Marquez. Nobody on. Bottom of the third inning, Lovington trailing by 5, needing to get something going. And another pitch about in the same spot, but Bennett took a little speed off of that. So the count is even, 2-2. And this pitch is going to be in the dirt, inside low, and that's going to bring the count full, 3-2. So good eye by Marquez. She has definitely worked the count around to a full count. Bennett with the windup and the pitch, and solid contact. A nice fly ball is actually going to go over Annelie Chavarria's head and hit the fence. A solid stand-up double for Marquez, who worked the count, very patient.
Wildcats, number 4, Honey Morales.
A double puts her on second base in scoring position for Lovington, and coming up to the plate, number 4, Honey Morales for Lovington. No outs. No outs. Fresh count. Get that back to 0. All right. So no outs, runner on second. Honey Morales at the plate. She had a single. She hit a single out to over the head of second base, out kind of between second and center, her first time up, and ended up getting stranded on first base after that hit. She shows bunt, but doesn't make solid contact, doesn't hit it down to kill the ball enough. Instead, it spins off the bat and goes to the backstop, so becomes a strike. So Honey Morales looking to move that runner with a bunt and maybe beat that out and get on base. Instead, ends up with a strike. So 0-1 the count on her. Marquez sitting out on second. And this time, Morales hitting away, and it comes inside and becomes a ball. So 2-1 the count. 2-1 the count on Honey Morales, your second baseman for Lovington. A change up, and Morales is patient, waits on it, and sends it to the outfield between center and right, and it is going to score a base. So Honey Morales doing what she did the last time, hitting that ball in about the same place. And so it was a nice RBI single for Honey Morales as Marquez crosses the plate. Now it's 6-2 and no outs in this bottom of the third inning, bringing up number 13, Angela Corral, your third baseman for Lovington, up to the plate. Lovington with a rally going on here. No outs. Perfect opportunity for them to continue hitting and try to get some more runs on the board. So 6-2 is your score. Bottom of the third inning. No outs. Angela Corral up to the plate. Runner on first. Honey Morales there after she hit that RBI single. First pitch is going to come in high and outside on Corral, so that'll be ball number 1. As Bennett looks back, checks with her field, make sure they know. Runner on first, no outs. Everybody's set. Corral hits it up, and a nice fly ball. Not enough time really for Chavarria to come in on it. And she throws in, and actually everybody's safe. So really what would be, it ends up being a double. So Corral with a well-hit long ball out to left field on second base. Moves Morales over to third, so runners on second and third, no outs. Number 77, Alexa Bell, your cleanup hitter and designated player to the plate. Lovington on a roll here. They trail 6-2. And Bell swings and hits the first hit, and it's a well-hit ground ball between short and third, and it is going to keep, it's going to keep the runners on base. Some balls thrown around trying to get the runner at first, not in time, and then try to get the runner on third, back to third, try to beat her out, but it does not.
Box, senior number 10, Siena De Porto.
So Morales scores. Corral on third, and Alexa Bell on first. So Alexa with an RBI single. So Corral on third, Bell on first. 6-3 your score. Lovington coming back. And at bat, number 10, Siena De Porto, the catcher. And strike 1 on her. So an 0-1 count, still no outs. Runners on first and third for Lovington. They've put 2 across the plate so far in this at-bat. And that's going to come in low and inside on De Porto. So a ball evens the count, 1-1. No outs. 6-3 your score. Lovington threatening to have a breakout inning here against Hobbs. That ball's going to be high for ball number 2. So 2-1 the count. Runners on first and third. Alexa Bell, designated player, doing her job for Lovington. Driving in a run, getting on base. And a well-hit ball. That could be out of there. That could be out of play, and it is. So a home run, out of the park home run right over left field. And that is going to bring Lovington, that's going to bring Corral in from third. That brings Bell in. And De Porto crosses the plate. A 3-run homer. 3-run home run for De Porto. And that is going to tie this game up. 6-6 is your score, and still no outs in this inning. This is the kind of at-bat that Lovington wanted to have, and now they've got it. So I will catch the score bug up. 6-6. We're tied.
And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change.
Yep, there's a Coach Crossland going to the mound, having a talk as Bennett, your pitcher, is going to come
one, but Lovington keeping it close and waiting for the breakout inning, and they've gotten it, so still nobody out with Chavarria stepping to the plate.
That's right, number 7, Annelie Chavarria, your left fielder for Lovington, coming up. She hit a foul pop that was caught by the catcher her first time up at bat. So this is the second time she's at bat, but of course she's seeing Young for the first time. Young coming in relief for Bennett. And the first pitch is going to be high for ball 1. So 1-0 the count on Annelie Chavarria now. And she fouls this one back out of play to the screen for strike 1, 1-1. Here we are, bottom of third inning. Lovington, Lovington came into this inning, and it was 6-1 was the score, and they have scored 5. And she fouls this one, pops this one straight back. It's going to hit the
roof.
Announcer's booth here where we are and become It's going to become. You used to be able to take a foul ball up to the concession stand and get a drink for it. I don't know if those. I think from ballpark to ballpark the rule might change a little bit, but it becomes strike 2, and a foul pop back to the right stands. The right side stands is almost caught and dropped by one of the fans. So count remains 1-2. As Chavarria is hanging tough at the plate, having to protect the plate now with a count of 1-2. Bases are cleaned off after that home run, an over-the-fence home run, a well-hit ball. It really was pretty much a line drive. It was a line drive shot over that center left field fence by De Porto. And ahead of this one, as Young took a little speed off of that one, Chavarria ahead of it. Swung on, caught a piece of it, fouled it off to the left toward the Hobbs dugout. So count remains 1-2. But Siena De Porto tying the game up with her 3-run homer. And a swinging bunt really dribbled right back to the pitcher as Young picks it up and fires it over to first base. So Chavarria goes out 1-3 for the first out.
Jocelyn Olguin.
That's going to bring up number 9, Jocelyn Olguin, your first baseman for Lovington, up to the plate. She hit a single her first time up and ended up getting stranded on third base, not being able to come in. So Olguin looking to have another hit. And that's going to be a call strike right over the outside of the plate as Young kind of floats one over. And Olguin looks at that, lets it go. So 0-1 is your count. Gets a piece of this one, fouls it off out toward the screen on the right side for strike number 2. So 0-2 the count. Is Lovington, I think, feeling the pressure. They're excited. Now, even though the bases are cleaned off, just one out, they have a chance to keep their scoring going here in this at-bat. Hobbs wants to shut them down, putting the new pitcher in, trying to at least give them a different look that they haven't seen yet, and that's going to be high and outside for ball 1. So 1-2 the count. Third one's going to be in the dirt for ball 2. So 2-2 the count. As Young is on the mound in relief of Bennett. Welcome in. Thank you for watching. We have a couple of different places where you can watch this game. And the pitch is going to come in low for ball number 3. And that's going to be evening. That's going to bring the count full, 3-2 on Olguin. Nobody on base. Just one out. This game is tied in the bottom of the 3rd inning, 6-all. Oh, nice pitch. It's going to be a call strike. That's right. It's going to hit the outside corner. He took a long time to indicate that. But a call strike.
Number 5, Leila Hernandez.
And that's going to be the second out against Lovington. And number 5, Leila Hernandez, your shortstop, coming up the plate. She hit a double her last time up and got stranded on the bases when was not able to come in and score for Lovington. And a good pitch is going to be a call on the outside corner. So a call strike 1. So 0-1 against. As I adjust the score bug that you see on video screen. So 0-1 the count. Or 1-1 now. So 1 ball, 1 strike against Leila Hernandez. 2 outs. Nobody on. Lovington having a big at bat, scoring 5. Gets good wood. It's high, going, and it's going to be also, there it is, over the fence. Second home run of this game, of this at bat. So in the bottom of the 3rd inning, Leila Hernandez with a solo homer, again over that left field fence. And that puts Lovington 1 run over Hobbs at this point. So 7-6, Lovington now leading Hobbs. Just 2 outs. Annelie Reyes, number 2, coming up to the plate. She's your right fielder for Lovington. She popped out to the 3rd baseman her first time at bat. So this is her 2nd time up to the plate. First time to face Young. Young now
Now batting, senior number 2, Annelie Chavarria.
has thrown a home run pitch. And Lovington is 1 run ahead in this one. First pitch is going to be just a bit outside. This takes his time, and I wanted to make sure that he was going to call that a ball. It looked just a little outside to me. So ball 1, 1-0 the count. And that's going to be outside as well for ball number 2. So 2-0 the count. Young has a strikeout, and that is called strike. So 2-1 the count now. So Young came in relief, struck one out, and then threw a pitch that got sent out of the field. And that's going to be ball number 3. So 3-1 now the count on Reyes. Nobody on. Oh, and the take sign was on because that was a beautiful pitch. So Young put it across when she needed to, for sure. That is going to bring the count full, 3-2. And it's a strike, swung on and fouled back. So staying tough at the plate, Reyes with a full count. As Young, that would have been a call strike had she not swung on it. Young staying alive at the plate. 2 outs now. Oh, and she's going to take her base because that's very much outside. So Reyes walks.
Now
So Lovington is not dead yet.
Avery
They're keeping
Marquez.
this at-bat going. They have scored. They have scored 6 runs in this at-bat, and they've got 2 outs with a runner on first. Top of the order, number 3, Avery Marquez up to the plate. First pitch is in, a lot of sizzle in the pop, but it's a ball. So 1-0 now, still 2 outs. And Avery Marquez at the plate. Lovington has batted around. And Marquez also sends a high fly ball out to left field, and just at the fence making the grab is Souter. So that ends the inning. Lovington with finally they are going to go down, and Hobbs is going to get their chance to get things evened up. So they scored 6 runs in that inning. And we go to the top of the 4th inning. Hobbs coming up to the plate, trailing 7-6. We'll have more Lady Eagle and Lady Wildcat softball here at Lovington's field in Lovington. We'll be back with more. Back to Lovington Field. In the bottom of the 3rd inning, Lovington had 6 runs on 5 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. So we are going to go to the top. 6 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. And we go to the top of the 4th inning, and it is the top of the lineup coming up for Hobbs. Hobbs trailing by 1, 7-6 is your score. Trailing by 1. Kaya Boyle, leadoff hitter. She hit a fly out to right field. Last time up, she reached on an error her first time at bat and scored for Hobbs. And the first pitch comes in, and it is a ball. So 1-0 is your count on Kaya Boyle, leadoff hitter, a freshman for Hobbs. And that's going to be ball number 2 outside. That is Lainey Urahara on the mound for Lovington. She has 3 strikeouts in this game so far. And this comes in, and it's going to be a ball as well. So she has thrown 3 straight balls to Kaya Boyle. Lovington can't afford. They just managed to get back in this game in their last at bat. And Hobbs would like nothing more than to have a breakout inning again against them. And that comes in a call, strike 1, as take sign was probably on. 3-1 the count as Leila Hernandez puts the strike in when she has to. And puts a little more on this one. And in fact, Boyle just a little late on it. So swung on and fouled off to the right. Brings the count full. 3-2 now on Kaya Boyle. As Leila Hernandez picked up the speed, picked up the heat on that one just a bit. It was an outside ball. Kaya hit it kind of on the end of her bat. And this one comes in. She also swings and chips at it. Gets a piece of it. Fouls it back to the right, to the screen. And the count remains full. So no outs. First batter up, the top of the 4th for Hobbs. They trail by 1, 7-6 your score. Lovington coming alive in that bottom of the 3rd inning, getting their bats going, cooking and singing big time. Hobbs looking to do the same here, and a well-hit ball. High pop fly going out to right field, coming in on it, not able to catch that. Reyes tumbles and dives for it, but Marquez backing her up, and textbook outfielding out there. So Reyes takes a tumble forward, but Marquez picks it up, makes the throw in, and keeps Boyle on first base. So what could have been a ball that got past them, going to the fence, and Boyle with her speed, she could have been sitting on 3rd right now. But Lovington holds her to a single. Still a well-hit long ball fly out there to right field. Brings up number 8, Marissa Young, to the plate. She was your designated player, then moved to pitching in relief. First pitch comes in, and it's going to be low and outside for ball 1. Young is a left-handed hitter. So the count on her is 1-0. So 1-0, one runner on, no outs. You got Boyle sitting on first. That's going to come in low and outside as well for ball number 2. Oh, no outs. Ball number 2. 7-6 your score. Lovington ahead in this one, but Hobbs at the bat. And a call, strike 1, hit the outside of the plate. A nice little breaking ball by Urahara, hit the corner for strike 1, 2-1 your count. Kaya Boyle on first after hitting a long fly ball to outfield. And it's a long pop fly. Coming over trying to get it is Marquez, but she cannot. And there's a little trouble fielding that, but they are going to manage to get the throw in and hold it. So a single, again, a long fly ball out to deep left center becomes a single and puts Young on first. It moves Boyle on over to second. So runners on first and second, nobody out. Number 3, Cameron Cantu, your shortstop for Hobbs, coming up to the plate. She hit an RBI single her last time up and an RBI single her first time up. Let's see what she does her 3rd time up at the plate. So no outs, 2 runners on, first and second. Hobbs trailing by 1. Got a runner in scoring position. Cantu, proving that she can knock them in. Watches that first ball come in, and she thought it was going to be an outside pitch, but it caught the corner for strike 1. So 0-1 the count. Now she's had a good look at it. Cantu leaned on it, a little bit into it, watched it. 0-1. Runners on first and second, and she does hit this one right to third base as Corral knocks it down and then steps on the base for the force out. So that gets Kaya Boyle out on the force to third, and it puts Cameron Cantu on first on a fielder's choice and brings up Caruso Garcia, number 16, your first baseman for Hobbs, up to the plate. She popped out to the second baseman her last time up. She walked her first time up and scored for Hobbs. It's her 3rd time up to the plate. Runners now on first and second. First pitch is going to be low for ball number 1. So 1-0 the count. 1 out. Runners on first and second. Hobbs looking to get a runner across the plate to tie it. 2 to go ahead. A swing, catching a piece of this, kind of a golf shot there. Foul ball back to the screen, right side for strike 1. 1-1 the count now on Caruso Garcia. Hobbs runners on first and second, trailing by 1. Lovington able to cut the lead runner off with that play, making the first out. Hobbs still knocking on the door, though. And a high pop fly. De Porto trying to get under it, and she hangs on to it. De Porto did not sling her mask off. She had to play the wind, kind of play the sun, and hung on to it for out number 2. So a pop to the catcher for out number 2, bringing up number 7, Cameron Harrison, your catcher for Hobbs, up to the plate. She grounded out to second base and walked her previous 2 times the plate. She also crossed the plate for Hobbs in their first at bat. First pitch is swung on, hit to the shortstop, who fields it. Hernandez over to Olguin, 6-3 in time for the 3rd out, and Hobbs threatens but does not manage to put a run across in their time at bat. Top of the 4th, we're going to go to the bottom of the 4th, and Lovington still leading this one 7-6. We'll be back with more Lady Eagle, Lady Cat softball action from Lovington.
In the top of the 4th, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. We go to the bottom of the 4th, Lovington leading 7-6 with the call. Dawn Morgan.
Thank you very much. As coming up first is number 4, Honey Morales, your second baseman for Lovington. She hit an RBI single her last time up at bat, hit a single and got stranded her first time at the plate. So this is her 3rd plate appearance, and she is up first for Lovington. They are up by 1 run, 7-6 in this one. Coming off of an at-bat where Hobbs threatened but was not able to get a run across to tie things up or to go ahead. So Honey Morales looking at the first pitch. It's a ball, and the second pitch is going to be a call strike, and that's going to even the count at 1-1. Morales looked at it, flinched, but did not swing, and it was a strike. She does get wood on this, a solid line drive, and it goes right to Cantu at shortstop, and it was kind of hard hit. Cantu, it hits her glove but drops. So that is an E6. Even though that was a very sharply hit ball, she definitely had that in her glove and dropped it. So
if it goes into the glove, you pretty much have to. If it goes into the glove and drop it, you pretty much have to.
Write that down.
E6
and it was, if it just tipped her glove and went off or something, that would be different. But it hit inside the glove and then was dropped. So that's going to put Corral on first on an error. Or Morales on first on an error, and Angela Corral with a ball that is well hit and thrown out. They try to turn a double play, and they almost do it.
Now batting for the Wildcats, senior number
but
77,
Angela Corral.
Alexa Bell.
Corral will reach on the fielder's choice.
Right, Corral reached on the fielder's choice, so she's on first, and Morales was thrown out at second for the first out. And even though that throw was high, still there was no problem, no damage. So Alexa Bell, number 77, your designated player, up at the plate. So 1 out. And a golf shot, but it's a hot grounder to third base, and Candace Harrison gets a glove on it again, kind of skipped behind her. I wonder if the sun had a little something to do with that, but again, I think we're going to have to score that as an error. She definitely got her glove on it. So Alexa Bell reaches on an E5. And that moves Angela Corral, who reached on a fielder's choice, over to second base. And number 10, Siena De Porto, up at the plate. First ball comes in, and it is going to be a strike. So 0-1 is your count. Just the 1 out. Second pitch comes in. And it is a ball.
I have a feeling they're going to pitch very carefully to De Porto.
Yeah.
She parked one last time.
Yeah, she did. It was a 3-run homer that tied the game up her last time at the plate, and Siena, and she grounded out to the second baseman her first time up in the game. But yes, 1-1 is your count to her, and call strike 2. So 1-2 is the count. 1 out. Runners at first and second for Lovington. They lead this one 7-6. We're in the bottom of the 4th. A swing and a tip, foul tip. It came back, even though it went out. It was ruled, I think it was ruled a foul ball.
Yeah, he ruled it a foul ball.
Yeah, he did.
Initially.
Well, Hobbs went ahead and played it just in case. The pitcher threw over to first, and then they threw it to third to try to keep the runner on second. But it just it was called a foul ball. It hit the plate, I think.
Yeah, it hit the plate
Hit the
first.
plate, and then she swung on it. It tipped it. It hit the plate, and then it rolled out into there. Now that one's going to stay foul. A hot grounder, just fair, right along the third base line, and that's going to score 1. So De Porto with a sharply hit ball right down the third base line.
Stepping into the box, number 7,
Is an
Annelie
RBI
Chavarria.
single for De Porto, who stands on first. That scored Corral, who had reached on a fielder's choice, and moved Alexa Bell over to second. So De Porto's on first, Bell's on second. I think they're going to have a courtesy runner for De Porto. They usually they
for the catcher
for
and
the
the pitcher.
catcher and the pitcher. Often they will. So courtesy runner, and I can't tell.
I can't catch her
I
number.
can't catch her. No, I don't know who that is out on first. Number 14, which is Chloe Corral. Chloe. So Chloe, thank you very much to one of our the Lovington booth announcer here. So runners on first and second, and the first pitch is going to be a call strike, as that is Annelie Chavarria at the plate. So 0-1 is the count against Chavarria. Just 1 out, and the pitch is going to be outside for ball number 1. So 1-1 the count. Just 1 out, 1 run across the plate so far for Lovington, and they're knocking on the door, threatening with more.
And Chavarria, the only player yet to reach base for the Lady Cats
That's
today.
That's right. She fouled out. Oh, and this one is well hit center field. It's going to be caught, though, as drifting back to get it is Ralston. And, in fact, Ralston gets it and makes the throw in, so it doesn't even move a runner. But a well-hit ball. Chavarria gave it a ride. It really looked like it might. If the wind had caught that, it could have gone out. But instead becomes a fly out, a long fly out to center field for a second out. Number 9, Jocelyn Olguin, your first baseman for Lovington, coming up to the plate. So runners on first and second. That is Chloe Corral on first, a pinch runner.
And we will have a pitch runner going for Bell at second.
And Bell, the designated player, on second. So, and that is, they've got her jacket on.
She's wearing her sweatshirt.
Yeah, she's wearing a jacket. It's definitely a cool breeze. The sun's still up, but it's definitely a cool breeze blowing out there. Runners on first and second for Lovington. 2 outs now, though. And the first pitch swung on and hit, and it's going to be caught and dropped by the right fielder. And the throw in is not going to be in time. And that is going to score the pinch runner for Bell. She comes in from second. And that's going to be Jocelyn Olguin reaching first on an E9 on that pop to right field. Number 5, Leila Hernandez, your shortstop, comes up to the plate. And that means you've got the pinch runner for De Porto sitting on third and Olguin on first. Lovington 2 outs against them. Hernandez up at the plate. Count, of course, 0-0 so far. First pitch coming in. Swung on and, almost. It goes by Cantu, who stretches out trying to get it, but a nicely hit line drive is going to be a line drive single just out of the glove of Cantu. She gave it all she had, but she was just not able to get that. So that's a single for Leila Hernandez, and that moves Olguin over to second. So Hernandez on first, Olguin on second, and Reyes at the plate. And that is bobbled, but getting it in time as Boyle knocked it down and bobbled it a little bit. Still had enough on that throw to throw her out. So Reyes is out 4-3 for the third out for Lovington, but they're able to get 2 runs across and increase 3 runs across. I didn't fill in that box yet. So 3 runs across. They've extended their lead. It is now 10-6 your score as Hobbs coming back up to the plate. Top of the 5th coming up, and we'll have it for you here as Lady Eagle Lady Wildcat softball continues from Lovington. Welcome back to Lovington. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Lovington scored 3 runs on 2 hits, 2 errors charged to Hobbs, and 2 left on base, and that brings us to the top of the 5th inning. Number 7, Candace Harrison, number 10, Candace Harrison, coming up to the plate for Lovington. Let me catch my score bug up. And 10-6 is your score. Lovington leading this one in the top of the 5th inning. No outs. And your first pitch was a ball. So 1-0 is the count on Harrison. 10-6. Lovington with a 4-point lead. And Harrison smacks this one between short and third. Scrambling for it, Hernandez. Good hustle, but cannot lay a glove on it. So that is going to be a grounder single. A nice, sharply hit ball between shortstop and third. So that's a single that puts Harrison on, and it brings up number 5, Kylie Ralston, to the plate. She struck out her last time. She hit a single and scored for Hobbs her first time up at bat. She's a left-handed batter, so no outs. First pitch swung on, hit, a grounder to second base, and she gets the lead runner. A nice play as Hernandez comes over and fields the ball is thrown. She gets it, and then she fires it over to first, but not in time. So they do get the lead runner. Harrison is thrown out. Going to second, Ralston reaches safely on the fielder's choice. And that brings up number 1, Edith Chavez, the right fielder, to the plate. So with 1 out, fresh count. 1 out, 1 on. Edith Chavez at the plate. And it swung on and hit us. And it's just a little grounder. It takes a long time to develop. And Hernandez was moving over to second. as I think she thought that was going to be fielded by either the pitcher or the third baseman. But
yeah, that's just one of those seeing eye, middle of nowhere singles. Nothing you can do about it.
No, and it's not an error at all. It just it's just an infield hit. It becomes an infield hit. It's just a slow grounder. Takes so long to develop. Nobody can get it in time, and Chavez beat out any throw that would have happened. So an infield single.
And a pinch hitter now for Coach Dean Crossland and the Lady Eagles, as it's going to be number 20, Rodriguez, to come up from the left side to face Inohos with one out and runners at first and second.
Anaya Rodriguez, one of your bench players for Hobbs, coming in to bat with runners at first and second for Hobbs. That's Ralston at second, Chavez on first. First pitch comes in, and it is a strike. So 0-1 the count now. With just one out, runners at first and second. Hobbs is trailing by 4. And Rodriguez is trying to change that for Hobbs, coming in at the plate. She's a left-handed batter, and she does swing at that, kind of a half. She decided at the last minute to take a swing at it and got a piece of it. So 2 strikes on her. The count 0-2 on your substitute player, bench player coming in to pinch hit. 0-2, 1 out. Oh, and she hits it straight up the middle, too hot, as there's nothing Inohos could do but get out of the way of that, and it's going to score a run. So scoring all the way from second on that is Ralston, and it moves Chavez over to second, and Rodriguez gets a hit single out of it. A hot shot right up the middle. Too hot for anybody to handle.
And we will have a pinch runner now come in for Rodriguez.
So Rodriguez goes to the dugout, and it looks like, if I can see the hair, the long ponytail hiding the number.
Between that and the shadow right there.
Yeah, the sun is shining on that.
I think that may be Jimenez, number 6.
Maybe 6. Could be 15. At any rate,
we know somebody's on first.
That brings up the top of the order again, Kaya Boyle. And first pitch is going to be just a little outside for ball number 1. So 1-0 the count on her. So 1 ball, no strikes. Still just 1 out. And she catches a piece of this on the end of the bat, and that was a pretty good. Laney brought the heat. Inohos brought the heat on that, and Boyle was able to get a piece of it, but it fouled off out of play to the right for strike number 2. Nope, just strike 1.
Yeah, 1-1 the
just
count.
Strike 1. That's right. Evens up the count, 1-1 on her. And this comes in, it's going to be a ball, so 2-1 the count now. 2-1 the count, 2 runners on, 1 out. You got Chavez on second. We've got a pinch runner on first. We think maybe Angel Jimenez. And that's going to be outside for ball number 2. Inohos bringing the ball 3. Just as I said that, I realized the ball 3. Changing my score bug. 3-1 the count. Inohos bringing the heat, but just a little outside off of the plate. 3-1 the count. This one come in, and it is a call. Thought it might be a little low, but it was right over the plate. So called. It was high enough to be a call strike. So that brings the count full. 3-2 on Kaya Boyle, your leadoff hitter for Hobbs. She's in that leadoff hitter spot. This one is going to be a line drive over the second baseman's head. Going to go out to center field. The ball comes in. The throw comes in to second base. It is going to score a run. So Kaya Boyle with an RBI single. RBI single. And that's going to score Chavez from second. And it sends Rodriguez over. Well, there was a pinch runner for Rodriguez.
That is Jimenez, number 6.
Number 6 is over. That's who we thought it was. But she's on third. So runners on first and third. And that brings up Marissa Young, the pitcher now for Hobbs.
First pitch to her was strike 1.
So 0-1 is your count, since I'm working on catching up the score bug a little bit here. Still just 1 out. So Hobbs having a breakout inning. De Porto comes out of her crouch with runners at first and third. That runner on first, stealing second. De Porto fakes a throw, hoping to get the runner on third to commit and come in, but she doesn't. So that runner on on first moves over. Kaya Boyle is on second now. So runners at second and third. The pitch is hit and it stays fair just inside the first base line. It goes out to right field. It's going to score. It's going to score one. It's going to score two. So coming in, scoring two. That Boyle, very speedy. Man, she is so quick. So Marissa Young with a 2 RBI single, a grounder. Just fair over that right base line. So nice hot grounder. So scoring two, and that's 4 runs in this inning, and Hobbs has tied it up. It's 10 apiece. Right now in the top of the 5th inning, that brings number 3 Cameron Cantu up to the plate. And Coach McCraw having a little talk with his team at the mound. Just 1 out. Hobbs with a breakout inning of their own here in the top of the 5th, a breakout at bat. That's going to bring up number 3, Cameron Cantu. Number 6, number 3, the shortstop up to the plate.
Number 3, who plays number 6.
Yeah.
And we do have a pinch runner in the game as Inohos will check in to courtesy run for Young, who's pitching. As Cantu reached on a fielder's choice her last time up and was left stranded at first. Is 2 for 3 on the day.
She had an RBI single and an RBI single her first 2 times up at bat. Reached on that fielder's choice, got stranded her last time up. It's her 4th plate appearance of the game. She has 1 runner on. That is Young sitting out there on first after her 2 RBI single. First pitch comes in, and it's going to be outside for ball number 1. Still just 1 out. 1 out, 1 on, 1-0 is the count against Cantu, right-handed batter. Lovington needs to shut things down. Hobbs wants to just keep it going. And that's going to be outside for ball number 2. So 2-0 the count on Cantu. McCraw talking to his girls, trying to settle them down. Lovington wants to shut things down, but they're going to have to get 2 more outs to do it. Ooh, catching a piece of that. Swing and foul back to the screen for strike 1 on Cantu. 2-1 you count. Young, or actually that's a pinch runner for Young out on first.
Inohos.
Yep. Number 4, Camille Inohos. Oh, and a well-hit ball, a high pop fly, having trouble with it. It's going to end up falling in no man's land out there. As really, I think that should have been the right fielder's ball. She was playing pretty deep, though, so it actually was Morales who drifted back, trying to field the ball as she was drifting back. I think she may have lost it in the sun. Coming over to back him up was Marquez, and nobody ended up getting it, so it just ended up falling among them, and it's hard to. There's really no error on that.
Yeah,
it just
a bloop
becomes
single.
it's just a fly.
That little Texas
single.
League bloop
That's
single.
That's right. So that puts Cantu on first, and it moved the courtesy runner, who is Inohos, over to second. So a little fly to right field, shallow right. Ended up putting her on the base. Bases first and second occupied for Hobbs, and number 16, Caruso Garcia, the first baseman, up at the plate for Hobbs. And the first pitch to her is a ball, so 1-0 the count, still just 1 out. Second pitch comes in, it's going to be a ball. So 2-0 the count. Runners on first and second for Hobbs. Inohos on second, Cantu on first. And catching a piece of that off the end of the bat will bring the count to 2-1 on Caruso Garcia, your first baseman for Hobbs. 2-1 the count. 2 runners on. Hobbs has scored 4 in this at bat so far to tie things up at 10 apiece. And this pitch comes in, and nope, the ump says it is a ball. So 3-1 is the count as Lovington faithful looking at that, and they wanted a strike out of that. The ump gave him a signal. Nope, calm down. It's a ball, 3-1. This one foul tipped back to bring the count full. I think that would have been a call strike, so that was probably a good move for Caruso Garcia to take a cut at that. Fouled it back to the right, though, to the screen. So count full on her. Runners on first and second still. Just one out. In this at bat, Hobbs put 4 runs across the plate so far, and they may not be done, but Lovington would like to have something to say about that. Foul tipped back, straight back, right in front of us. It's going to hit the side of the stands. Some fans thought they might be catching that one, but it hit the railing. It hit the railing instead. There was a lot of spin on that ball.
No glove, I'm not even thinking about it.
So the count remains full on Garcia. Runners on first and second for Hobbs. 1 out. And Garcia hits a grounder to the shortstop. Honey fields that and then throws it over to first, looking to create a double play. Does not get there in time, but they do cut off the lead runner on that. So that is Garcia reaches on a fielder's choice. She sits on second. They get Cantu out at second. So that was 6 to 4. 6 to 4 for the second out. And that's going to bring up number 7, Cameron Harrison, the catcher for Hobbs, up to bat. So now 2 outs. And, of course, a fresh count against her. 2 outs, runners on first and third for Hobbs.
And they've come back and tied this game here in the top of the 5th inning.
Inohos, the pinch runner, one of the pinch runners, sits on third.
And we've got a pinch runner over at first. I didn't catch that number.
Looks like it may be 14. Yeah, there's a 1 something. It's 7, maybe 17. I can't tell. It's either 17 or 15, probably. I think either 17 or 15, so we'll have to see. Runners on first and third. Harrison hits the first ball she sees. It's a grounder. And coming over is Hernandez, fields that herself. So 6 unassisted. Makes the third out, and that brings an end to the at-bat for Hobbs. Not before they put 4 runs across the plate, though. So 4 runs to tie things up, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 5th inning, tied up 10 apiece. And we'll be back with more Lady Eagle, Lady Wildcats softball from Lovington. Welcome back to Lovington. In the top of the 5th inning, there were 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning as Lovington comes up to the plate. We are tied at 10-all. Hobbs was able to put those 4 runs across and tie it up. But Lovington was able to shut them down at that point. And coming up to the plate is the top of the order, number 3, Avery Marquez. In the bottom of the 5th inning for Lovington, as I'm going to have to get my score bug caught up here for just a moment. And there's a hit, a well-hit ball out to left field. Bobbled, but the throw comes in, and the throw, the throw wasn't bad, but really I think that the error was on Boyle at second. She just bobbled catching that. And
yeah, it's a I think you would score that as a single and then an
so a single and then she took second base.
And then an error.
An error on the throw
second,
on the catch actually. So yeah, so Marquez with a leadoff single, well hit ball out to left field. And she is on second base, and now the first pitch that Honey Morales sees, she hits, but it's a long ball that goes foul down the right-hand side, so it becomes a long strike one against Morales. All right, so bottom of the fifth inning. I'm still getting my score bug. Make sure I've got that. No outs. No outs. One strike. And now one ball to go with that.
And strike two.
And strike two. So the count now 0-2, actually. 0-2 against Morales. And that's going to be outside as Young took a little speed off of that, tried to hit the corner, entice Morales into chasing, but she does not. So 1-2 is going to be the count. Runner on second in scoring position for Lovington. The pitch comes in and also is outside for ball number 2. So the count even on Morales, your second baseman for Lovington. And she reached first her last time up. Oh, and she hits this one, a little golf shot that's going to stay on the ground and going to go right between first and second base. And that's going to end up scoring a run. And the tie is broken as Honey Morales hits a nice little shot out, a grounder out between first and second, and it's really a single, and
single.
she advances on the throw. So a single gets her to first, and then on the throw in, she goes to second base, and she is able to score. Avery Marquez, with her speed, scored from second base. So she's got Honey Morales with an RBI single, brings up number 13, Angela Corral, to the plate, and the first pitch is in, and it's going to be a ball. So 1 ball, no strikes, no outs. Right, Angela, not, is it Angelina? Angelina. I wrote her down as Angela, my bad. And the pitch comes in. It's going to be a ball. So 2 balls. 2 balls, no strikes on Angelina, and a call, strike 1. So 2-1 the count on her, with a runner on second. That is Honey Morales out there after her RBI single, and then she took second base on the throw. And it's 11-10 now. Lovington in the lead. Well, the ball comes in, and it is going to be a ball as De Porto out there, or Harrison rather. Harrison threatening to throw down, trying to keep Morales on second base. And a grounder over to shortstop, a throw into the short, and there's a throw. Oh, and he said she slid under. She slid under the tag, so there was a throw from first to third to try to get Morales out at third, but Morales slid under the tag and made it safely. So Angela Corral was thrown out on that one, 6-3. Hobbs doing a nice job of fielding, of making those 2 good throws back to back, and almost picked off Morales. So Angelina Corral thrown out at first, 1 out, and the first ball is hit and knocked down by Boyle, but really she can't do anything with it. That was not a playable ball. She got to it in time just to knock it down. So that really, Alexa Bell has a single.
Yeah, the RBI single.
RBI single. And that's going to make it 12-10. And that brought in Morales from third, scored her. And Bell is on first after a single RBI. A well-hit shot out to second base. Really, Boyle did a good job just getting to that and knocking it down. A lot of second basemen would not have even gotten to that ball, but she's pretty quick. So a well-hit ball and a well-stopped ball, but it becomes an RBI single for Bell, sitting on first. And number 10, Siena De Porto, who has been big at the bat today. She's 2 for 3. She had an RBI single her last time up. She hit a 3-run homer her second time up to the plate. She grounded out to the second baseman her first time up. So 4th plate appearance, and she comes up. And I think they're going to have...
and they are going to call out
Oh, they're going to call
Alexa
Bell out. And why is that?
I don't know the answer to that. It's possible because they put a pinch runner in for Alexa
right.
the last time she came in. They may not have informed the change back in. That's all I can figure.
That could be
so
it.
She becomes an illegal player.
Right,
now the question is, does the run stay on the board?
Right. I mean, if
nope. So they're going to take the run off the board
the run
too.
Off. So I think that was pointed out that somebody on the Hobbs, either the coach or somebody at Hobbs, pointed that out to the ump.
Or it might have been interference, but I don't know what the deal was there for sure. But
right. But
we just know that Alexa Bell is out.
Right. And so that
and Morales has to go back to third.
That's right. We wipe that out, and so they call her out. So Bell becomes the second out. Siena De Porto is up at bat with a third baseman because Honey Morales had to go back to third. And on the pass ball, now Morales comes home. So we're just going to keep that. I'm glad I hadn't wiped out the run that Morales had. But on the pass ball, you can call that a wild pitch or a pass ball.
That's a pass ball.
All right. So pass ball is going to score, and Siena De Porto still at the plate. And that was a ball. And that's going to be the second one. So I think, what, does that become 2-0 on her now? That's right. 2-0 is the count. So 2 outs now. 2-0 the count. And let's see if that hit the outside corner. He says no. All right, so 3 balls. 3-0 is your count on De Porto. With 2 outs. Nobody on. That one is going to hit the corner. So that one, Young brought that one in over the plate just enough to be called a strike for sure. It's 3-1. I think it looked like a strike to me up here. And a well-hit, sharp ball down the third baseline. It's fair. It goes out to left field. But fielding that, doing a nice job out there. Souter picks it up and throws it in. But De Porto, with another sizzling single, is on first. And 2 outs, but Lovington is still batting and looking to try to get a couple more runs on the board. It's 12-10. They're up by 2 already.
Stepping into the box, number 7, Annelie Chavarria.
Number 7, Annelie Chavarria, hits the first pitch she sees. It's a pop fly out, and Boyle has it for the 3rd out. So pops out to the second baseman for the 3rd out, and kind of an odd inning there for Lovington, but one in which they were able to put 2 more runs on the board to make it 12-10, a 2-run lead against Hobbs. We go to the top of the 6th inning, 12-10 your score. Hobbs coming up to bat. We'll have more Lady Eagle, Lady Wildcat softball here in Lovington. Welcome back to Lovington Lady Cats softball field. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Lovington was able to put 2 runs on the board on 3 hits. No errors, 1 left on base. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Your score is 12-10. Lovington is leading, but Hobbs wants to come back and try to either tie it up or go ahead. So they're looking to have another breakout inning. Hobbs was able to score 4 in their last at-bat. And coming up to bat first is going to be number 10, Candace Harrison. So Candace Harrison, your third baseman for Hobbs, up to the plate. She hit a single her last time up. She grounded out and hit a sac fly out her first time. So she is 1 for 3, fourth plate appearance. And the first ball comes in, and it is a ball. So 1-0 is the count now on Candace Harrison. Lovington leading this one 2-1. Swing and a foul tip on the end of the bat. So 1-1 is the count now. With Harrison. Harrison has not crossed the plate for Hobbs. Got stranded, left out on first her last time up. 1-1 the count. Swing and a foul tip back to the right to the screen for strike 2. 1-2 the count. As the shadows get longer on the field, sun going down, still a cool breeze blowing. And the stand's pretty full, of course, what you'd expect. Hobbs traveling well, and lots of fans here from Hobbs, as well as lots of blue in the stands for Lovington. On this Friday afternoon game. Pitch comes in, some sizzle in the pop and pop in the glove, but it's called a ball. 2-2. Lovington faithful wanted that to be a strike. I think he probably got it right. I think it's a little outside. 2-2 the count. Oh, and a high ball, but it's picked up, and a high fly coming in under it though. Marquez making a good run. The ball getting played with just a little bit up, hanging up in the air. She had to play the wind and play the sun as well for a good catch. And Candace Harrison with a fly out to center. First out in this inning. Brings up number 5, Kylie Ralston, center fielder for Hobbs, a left-handed batter. She got on a fielder's choice her last time up. This one, first pitch she sees, a line drive out just beyond the glove of Hernandez at shortstop. And the throw in, it goes that goes all the way out to the fence, and the throw in not in time. So Candace Harrison, or rather Kylie Ralston, with a double on second base with one out. A runner in scoring position, and number 1, Edith Chavez, your right fielder, up to the plate for Hobbs. Nice pitch right over the corner. Yeah, I was going to say, I almost called that a strike before the ump did, and I shouldn't do that. But a good strike, a little pop in the glove. 0-1 the count. 1 out, 1 runner on in scoring position. And this one, a little bloop foul. Good hustle. Olguin came running, having to play the shadows and try to get that foul ball. Was not able to get it. She took a nice dive though. Got covered in dirt for her trouble. Becomes strike 2. 0-2 the count. It's always tough to give it all you got and end up in the dirt and still not have that catch. But that's okay. Oh, and this is hit straight away and is going to fall in shallow center. Not anything anybody can do. And that is going to be a single for Chavez, who gets on first and moves Ralston over to third on it. Lovington, good heads-up play in the field, not throwing the ball away. Keeping Ralston on third. Any kind of a throw might have sent her in, could have been safely to home. Instead, it just puts runners at the corners right now at first and third, 1 out. Lovington getting together on the mound, calling for timeout just to make sure they have their strategy in order. With 1 out, runners at the corners. And that brings up Rodriguez, who went in for she was a pinch. They sent her in to
pinch hit,
and she has to stay in. So Rodriguez she went in to pinch hit and hit a single her time at bat, and ended up scoring. Well, her pinch runner ended up crossing the plate for Hobbs in her last at bat. So runners at first and third. And she hits one, a high fly ball coming in left field. But tagging up and crossing the plate is Ralston. So Ralston scores. So it's a sac fly by Rodriguez, a sac RBI out to left field. Nicely caught and played by Chavarria out there for second out, and that brings up the top of the order for Hobbs. Number 13, Kaya Boyle, up to the plate. She hit an RBI single her last time. She hit a single and got stranded on base the time before that. It's her 5th plate appearance. She reached on an error. She technically is just 1 for 3 so far. Nope, she's 2 for 3, sorry. 2 for 4. 2 for 4, I'll get that right. Okay. And the count on her, 1-1 now. So 2 outs, 1-1 the count. A runner on first for Hobbs. And your score is 12-11. A little line drive shot, a little bloop just out of the glove of Morales. Morales, again, stretched out, tried to get that, but that's a hit. So that is Boyle with a single again. A single, puts her on first, moves the pinch runner for Chavez, and not the pinch runner, but moves Chavez around. So Chavez on second. Number 8, Marissa Young, the pitcher, up to the plate. Runners on first and second for Hobbs. 12-11 your score. Ooh, and that to an outside, as Young is a left-handed hitter, and that was way off the plate. If it had gone and gotten by De Porto, it would have moved runners maybe, but De Porto got that. Oh, a sharply hit ball out to right field is caught by Reyes, and that's it. So Young gave it a ride, but a fly out to the right fielder ends their at-bat for Hobbs. They're able to put one across the plate and shave that lead down. Your score is 12-11 now as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Lovington still leads by 1, and we will have more Lady Cat and Lady Eagle softball from Lovington coming up. Welcome back to Lovington. In the top of the 6th inning, Hobbs was able to make 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning with Lovington coming up to bat, and they trail by 1. Hobbs was able to get that 1 run across. Hobbs still trails by 1. It's 12-11 now. And the bottom of the 6th inning should be coming up to bat. It should be number 9, Jocelyn Olguin, your first baseman for Lovington.
Up to the plate for the Wildcats, number 9, Jocelyn Olguin.
Hobbs with Young still on the mound for Hobbs. Young came in relief of Bennett. Cameron Harrison behind the plate for Hobbs. Garcia on first, Boyle on second, Cantu on short, Candace Harrison on third, Souter in left field, Ralston in center, and Chavez in right. And actually, I guess it's Souter is still out in field.
Yep, and we are going to have a change at catcher, as coming back in to do the catching duties will be Rodriguez now, looks like, for Hobbs.
All right, so Cameron Harrison out. Rodriguez in to catch. All right, Young still on the mound. That means Rodriguez in the lineup for Hobbs. So Jocelyn Olguin up to the plate for Lovington. And the first pitch is going to be into her. First pitch is going to be a ball one.
Well away.
Looking to see. I was looking down when that pitch came in. So Olguin gets a piece of this one, fouls it off to the left for strike one. So 1-1 the count on her. Lovington up by 1 with a hitting team like Hobbs. Probably want to try to pad that lead a little bit. That's what Lovington will be looking to do. Olguin reached on an error her last time up. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 1-2 the count on her. She struck out earlier in the game. She hit a single and got stranded on base on third earlier for Lovington as well. So technically, she is 1 for 3, her 4th plate appearance here. Oh, and she chases one outside.
And got a piece of it, so
Got
she
a
stays
piece.
alive.
Yeah, and I thought, well, if she had to have fouled that one. I didn't actually hear it, but she fouled that one. Otherwise, she would be sitting down. So 2-2. The count on her. Just 1-2. Sorry, 1-2. The count on her.
And gets another piece of one to stay alive.
Yeah, she's protecting the plate, having to swing, and those have been out some kind of outside pitches, but possibility of them hitting the corner has her swinging at those, trying to either get on base or just fend off the pitches until she gets one. And that one fouled off well to the right. I think she was really trying to hit that one and just really got under it a little bit. She was under it and a little behind it. So still 1-2 the count on Olguin. She hits that one. It looks like it's going to fall. A little shallow hit. Too far back for Boyle to get and too far forward for Chavez to get. So that is a true hit for Olguin.
Stepping into the box, number 5, Leila Hernandez.
A single is going to put Olguin on first. A little shallow outfield hit. Puts Olguin on first, brings number 5, Leila Hernandez, your shortstop, up to the plate. She takes a swing at the first one she hits. It's a high ball coming over, all the way over from first to get that. And that ball ended up between the catcher and the pitcher, coming over from first base to get that for the second hit, for the second out. So a pop for.
And that's Souter who's gone over to first.
And that Souter has gone to first since
yes.
We had the change. And the first ball that comes into Annelie Reyes is hit, but it's fouled off to the right, so strike 1. So a pop.
All of a sudden, Young kind of picking the pace up a little bit on us here.
Right. So 1 out as Hernandez popped out. Olguin on first. Olguin on first. Hernandez popped out. Reyes hits right back to the pitcher. It's knocked down, then picked up and thrown.
And that is still Garcia at first. I apologize.
Okay. So Garcia is at first. Still at first.
Now batting,
1 to 3.
Avery Marquez.
Yeah.
Does move the runner, though, as Olguin moves to second, as you mentioned.
Right.
So now top of the order back up, and a timeout going to be taken
That's
by
going to be Avery
Coach.
Marquez, who comes up next. Number 3, Avery Marquez, your center fielder for Lovington, coming up with 2 outs now. 2 outs, and
Crossland takes the timeout to talk to the team.
as Hobbs going to just take a breath.
Of course, they want to get to the top of the 7th inning with no damage being done, just down by 1. Want to do what they can to keep this close and see if they can force a bottom of the 7th or extra innings.
So runner out on second for Lovington as Olguin is out there having reached on a single And then moving over on that, on the last throw. The throw out of Reyes at first. Moved Olguin over, so she's in scoring position for Lovington. Lovington has a 1-run lead over Hobbs right now, 12-11. We're in the top of the 6th inning. The bottom of the 6th inning, rather. Bottom of the 6th inning. As my score bug reminded me where we were. And that ball comes in, and it is a ball outside and low for a 1-0 count on Marquez. 2 outs, a runner on second, and that's going to be a little low for ball number 2. Took a lot of speed off of that as Young, I think, was trying to entice Marquez. Marquez carefully watched that, did not offer. And now Young bringing the heat again and keeping Marquez just a little off her timing. And it's strike number 1. So good ball control and mixing up her speeds by Young. This one she brings in just a little outside for ball number 3. And Marquez hanging tough at the plate with a good eye, working the count to 3-1.
And a timeout taken as Coach Crossland wants to say something to the ump.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. What
yeah,
is
I think
it? No.
he's just saying, just go ahead and give her that extra ball and let her go to first.
Okay.
He's trying to force the
right.
What he's doing is he's putting the force on
right.
third or second or first.
Right.
So
just trying to get it more, get the odds more in his favor, let's say.
I'm not sure I would do that with Morales right now being 3 for 4
right.
and reached on all four times.
Marquez takes first on a walk and hits the first one she sees, and it's going to fall in fair, and it's going to score 1. Nope, it's not going to score 1. Oh, as they throw her out, they got her. I thought the ball was going to fall. I was looking to make sure she held on to it. So that's the 3rd out. So they're able to cut off the run coming in. So they get Olguin at the plate for the 3rd out on the throw in. But Morales does get a base hit out of that. That's scored as a single. And even though she took first base, she'll be the last batter. And we'll start off with Angel Corral when it's time for Lovington to bat again. But we are going to go to the top of the 7th inning. Hobbs trails by 1, and we'll be back with more Lovington Hobbs softball here in Lovington. Sorry. Welcome back to Lovington. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Lovington had no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. We go to the top of the 7th inning, bringing Hobbs up in the heart of their order, as you pointed out, TJ, which I just would have said the third batter up to Cameron Cantu. Obviously, 3rd batter means part of the first of the heart of the order.
3, 4, 5.
Cantu is your shortstop for Hobbs. Hobbs needing to at least tie it in this at-bat to keep themselves alive. And the first pitch comes in, and it is a strike. Lainey Udahara still on the mound for Lovington. She was your starting pitcher. So the count is 0-1. Cantu hits this one, a long fly ball. It's out of here. It's over that center right field fence, and Hobbs has tied it up. The second pitch that Cantu saw, an over the fence home run. So a 1-run homer is going to tie things up at 12. So we have a ball game in the top of the 7th inning. Hobbs tying it up, no outs. That brings number 16, Caruso Garcia, to the plate. Garcia playing first base for Hobbs. Lovington meeting at the mound just to make sure they know, okay, it's tied up, but they want to shut things down and not allow Hobbs to get any more hits, any more runs, that is. But no outs, 1 run already scored across the plate. Pressure's on Lovington. And Hobbs with Garcia up at the plate, and the first pitch comes into her, and it's going to be a ball. So no outs, 1-0 the count. Hobbs with a run. We're tied up at 12 apiece. And that's going to be just a little low and outside. Lovington faithful thinking that that might have hit the outside corner, but just a little bit low. That's going to even things up at 1-1 on Garcia. So nobody on base. Hobbs looking to try to score more runs. Lovington, the worst that can happen at this point for Hobbs is that Lovington manages to keep him scoreless for the rest of this at bat and at least has a tie, and Lovington would have to break the tie or go to extra innings, and that pitch is going to be a call strike. So 1-2, the count now on Garcia. Good pitch by Urahara. Hit the outside corner. Pretty good amount of speed. I'd say a medium fast pitch on that one. This one, she brings more heat, but it's picked up, and it's a line drive shot, and that's over the fence as it goes over. All Chavarria can do is turn around, look at it, sail over the left field fence. Back-to-back home runs puts Hobbs 1 run ahead as Garcia crosses the plate, and now Hobbs has the upper hand, 13-12. With no outs and a meeting at the mound, Coach McCraw is out there to talk to his girls. We'll see if there's going to be a pitching change or if he's just going to talk to them and leave Urahara in. 2 runs, two runs, back-to-back homers. First 2 up to the plate for Hobbs, sailing it over the fence to give Hobbs a 1-run lead here. No outs in this at-bat. So Lovington has a tough road to hoe here.
Well, we will see a bottom of the 7th inning now for sure, but Lovington's going to have to settle down and try and get out of this. Hobbs going to just try and keep the rally going. Keep the rally going, keep the foot on the pedal.
Number 7, Cameron Harrison, who was the catcher. Well, actually, this is going to be Rodriguez. No,
it's
okay.
Harrison.
It's Harrison. She's up to the plate. Cuts at the first pitch she sees. It goes out of play to the right. Just a long foul ball, becomes strike 1.
That's one thing about softball, and I enjoy the sport and have for many, many years, but since they started doing the unlimited substitution thing a number of years ago, it becomes, okay, now she's in, now she's out, now she's in, now she's out. It makes the book a complete mess.
And it makes it hard to keep up with.
And I am a bit of a purist on that when it comes to.
It makes it hard to keep up with announcing, who is this and who should it be and who is it and wait a minute. So a strike at that one as well. Foul goes out of play. So 0-2 is your count now on Harrison. And Lovington faithful again, thinking that was a strike, but it was a ball. So 1-2 the count on what looked like a close pitch. At 1-2 the count. And this one's going to miss just outside as well, as Urahara put a little pop in that glove again. I think she was a little aggravated. Bringing the heat, just missing the plate. 2-2 now the count. Harrison at the plate, nobody on after back-to-back home runs. That's going to be low for a ball, and that's going to bring the count full. With no outs, Lovington really needing to get 3 outs against Hobbs. Hobbs wants to keep it rolling. Ground ball going to be picked up, fielded, and then a bad throw as Morales was trying to hurry that throw. She bobbled it just a bit, and actually if the throw had been good, it would have been out. So an E4 puts Harrison on, and she is able to move it over to second on the bad throw. So she reaches on an error and ends up taking an extra base. I think
it's a one-base error.
It's definitely a one-base error. So
one extra base error.
Yep.
You could call it a two-base error.
She reached on an error and then kept going over on the throw. So, but she's on second base in scoring position for Hobbs with no outs any way you look at it. Candace Harrison up the plate. And that first pitch was a ball.
Third error of the evening for the Lovington Lady Cats. Hobbs has also been a little error-prone this evening.
And the pitch, just misses. Just a little high and just a little outside. So 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 the count on Harrison. With a runner in scoring position. That's Harrison out. That's a Cameron out on second. Candace at the bat. Oh, and this pitch comes in, and it's a ball.
Just misses away, I guess.
Just misses, as Lainey Udohara just a little frustrated out there. Sometimes as a pitcher, you see it differently, and it feels differently than what the ump sees. And that's going to be 4 straight balls. So a walk is going to put Candace on first. Candace on first, Cameron Harrison on second.
And here comes Coach McCraw, and we're going to have a pitching change.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. So Udohara is going to turn the ball over. Let's see who's going to go in and pitch. It could be the other Udohara. I know that last season, that there were a couple of times in the game when, let's see, actually who
Number
that is.
17.
Number 17 is Zabri Rodriguez. Okay, Zabri, am I saying that name correctly, Zabri? Okay, just want to make sure. I know how it's spelled, but I want to make sure how it's said. So Zabri Rodriguez comes in to pitch. She'll get her warm-up pitches. We'll keep it right here. Coming in relief of Lainey Udohara.
And, of course, we will have more Hobbs Lady Eagle softball throughout the season, more Lovington Lady Cat softball throughout the year, too. Apparently there was a rumor going around that we would not be doing softball. That is not accurate. So we will be doing that, covering select games, especially when we get into district. We'll have all the district games for both teams and select games for both of these squads for the rest of the season as well. We would ask you please subscribe to the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel if you're a Hobbs Eagle or Lady Eagle fan, and the Lovington Sports YouTube channel if you're a Lovington Cat and Lady Cat fan. Of course, Hobbs fans, you can subscribe to the Lovington channel too. We won't bother us a bit, but please subscribe to the channel. Of course, thanks to our great sponsors, we never have to charge you when we do video stream. So we appreciate those sponsors for Hobbs and Lovington, making Lovington Lady Cat and Hobbs Lady Eagle softball possible.
All right, so back to the action. Zabri Rodriguez has had her warm-up pitches, coming in relief for Lainey Udohara, and she is going to face Kylie Ralston, center fielder for Hobbs. First pitch comes in low and outside, as Ralston is a left-handed batter. So 0-1 is going to be the count, or 1-0 rather is going to be the count. All right, 1-0 as I fight with my score bug at times. We're in the top of the 7th inning, and Hobbs is up in this one by 1 run, 13-12, and there's a call strike. So 1-1 now on Ralston, with Candace Harrison sitting out there. Cameron Harrison on second, Candace Harrison on first, and a call strike. Threatens to get away from De Porto, but she shuts that down. The runners threaten to run, but De Porto shuts them down, and everybody stays where they are. Runners on first and second, and a count of 1-2 now on Ralston. And she hits this one. It's a little blooper. It acts like a swinging bunt, but it is picked up. Rodriguez fields that and sends it 1-3 for the first out.
But it will move Harrison and Harrison over.
It moves the runners as Cameron takes third. Candace advances to second. Candace got there by virtue of a walk, and that brings number 1, Edith Chavez, your right fielder, up to the plate. So runners on second and third in scoring position for Hobbs, 1 out. She hits this one straight back to the pitcher. So a little hit back to the mound, a little fly, a little pop, kind of line drive, soft line drive back to the pitcher for the second out. So Lovington with 2 outs now. And coming up to the plate is Rodriguez, the catcher for Hobbs now. She had a sac RBI her last time up to the plate, and she hit a single and scored for Hobbs her first time up when she came in as a pinch batter. Runners on second and third, 2 outs. And the first pitch in to Rodriguez is going to be a strike. So 2 outs, 0-1 the count. Runners on second and third for Hobbs. They've put 2 across in this inning. This pitch comes in. It's well outside. I think the
De Porto tried to frame it up.
Yeah, and she pulled it in, but it was well outside. Lovington faithful sitting on the other side thought that looked like a strike. From their perspective, I'm sure it did. And this is going to be outside for ball number 2. So 2-1 the count on Rodriguez. Runners on second and third, 2 outs. Oh, and that is going to be outside, way outside. De Porto, good job. She has to chase that ball to keep it from getting by her. That probably would have scored a run. So a good job by De Porto. And 3-1 is now your count on Rodriguez. Oh, and a good pitch. Very good pitch. Hits the corner. That was a nice little breaking ball that hit the corner, had a lot of speed on it, so that's going to bring the count full. Rodriguez just watched that one go by, and this one she takes a cutout, and it is a hit. It's going to go over the shortstop's head, go out into left field, score 1, and on the throw, not quite in time. So that's going to score 2 for Hobbs as both the Harrisons cross the plate, and Rodriguez is out on second base. So we'll call that a double. They threw into the plate, but and there will be a runner for Rodriguez is going out there. I can't see the number. Now it's starting to get dark. The lights are on, but again, I could not see who that is. So a runner for Hobbs out on second. It's top of the order for Hobbs now. They have put 4 runs across in this inning, and the score is 15-12 now. They've got 3-run lead over Lovington, and Lovington with 2 outs wanting to end this inning and get back in the dugout. Hobbs wants to keep it going and increase their lead, and that's a call, strike 1. A good pitch right over the center of their plate. So 0-1 the count. 2 outs. 0-1 on Kaya Boyle. Hobbs leadoff hitter. She gets a piece of this one. It's knocked down by Honey Morales, and she throws over to second as the pinch runner out there on second took a big lead off, and they did not get her. She was safe. So Boyle reaches on a fielder's choice on first, and the runner stays at second. Your pinch runner who was in for Rodriguez. So runners at first and second, still 2 outs. And number 8, Marissa Young, your pitcher for Hobbs, at the plate. First ball comes in, and it is a ball. So 1-0 the count. 2 outs. Top of the 7th inning. Hobbs has scored 4 runs in this. They came in a run down, and now they're 3 runs up. A good pitch comes in. It floats in just a little high. And that's going to be ball number 2. I mean, it was a good idea as Rodriguez took off some speed from that, threw a little changeup, but it hung up a little high. And Marissa Young with a good eye, let it go. This one comes in a little bit lower, but still a little high. The umps motions that it still was above the letters. So ball number 3, 3-0. 3-0 on Young. Runners on first and second. And this is going to be ball 4, low and outside. So Young takes a walk, takes the base, and that's going to load them up. Runners on first, second, and third for Hobbs. 2 outs, but there's a force on any base now. So a force on any base. There's going to be a courtesy runner for Young at first, and that's number 4. Looks like Camille Inohos. Inohos running for Young. So a force on any base because 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. Hobbs leading this one 15-12. Lovington wanting very much to get out of this inning without any more damage done. Oh, and there's a hit, and it's going to score at least 1, score 2. The ball rolls out to center field. Marquez with the throw in, but it was just a well-hit grounder out of reach of Hernandez at shortstop. So that is going to be a 2 RBI single. A 2 RBI single for we've batted around. That was Cameron Cantu. So 2 RBI single for Cantu. And that brings number 16, Caruso Garcia, to the plate. Garcia hit an over the fence home run her last time up at bat. Still 2 outs. If Lovington can just get an out and get back to the dugout, that would end what has become kind of a nightmare inning for her. And Garcia picks this one up and sends us out into deep left field. It's going to score 1 for sure, and that's going to be a stand-up double for Garcia. A well-hit long ball out to left field, and that's going to bring
2 RBIs.
2 RBIs, that's right. Going to bring home that pinch runner, and then also bring Boyle in from second. So 2 more runs in this for Hobbs. 2 outs for Lovington, and that's a double for Garcia. 2 RBI double.
And I apologize about the shoddy camera work here the last couple of minutes. Been dealing with some tech issues at the Cardinal Classic.
All right, Cameron Harrison coming up to bat for Hobbs. Coach McCraw having a little meeting at the mound to settle his girls down and just let them know. Of course, right now, the score, Hobbs has had a breakout at bat again, and your score is now 18-12. Hobbs with a 6-run lead in the top of the 7th inning. 2 outs. Fresh batter up, and it is Cameron Harrison with a runner at second in scoring position, and she takes a cut, a swing and a miss for strike 1. So 0-1 your count, 2 outs. Top of the 7th inning. Hobbs wanting to keep this at-bat going. They've already scored 6 in this inning. And a well-hit ground ball, but Hernandez picks it up and fires it to first. And finally, this at-bat in Lovington's, in their mind, finally, they have that 3rd out. So they will go to the dugout with some work to do. They are 6 down now. Your score in the bottom, going to the bottom of the 7th inning, 18-12. Hobbs leading. We'll be back with more Lady Eagle softball here in Lovington. And welcome back to softball in Lovington. Your score 18-12 here in the bottom of the 7th inning as Lovington coming up to the plate. And they are trailing by 6 runs now as Hobbs had a big breakout at bat in their last in the top of the 7th.
And 7 runs, as you mentioned.
That's right. And now they are Hobbs up by 6. So Lovington has got to have a good at bat here if they want to try to stay in this game. And Angelina Corral is up to bat, number 13, playing third base. 1-1 the count on her. She hits this one, a grounder over to the shortstop. It is picked up by Cantu and fired over and out number 1. So 6-3 for out number 1, and that brings up number 77, Alexa Bell.
Senior number 77, Alexa Bell.
Designated player, Alexa Bell comes in. She has crossed the plate twice for Lovington in this game. She is 2 of 4, 5th plate appearance here. 1 out. Let me adjust my scoring bug, get this into the bottom of the 7th. With 1 out. And the pitch comes in and it's going to be low. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2-0 is your count. 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Lovington trailing by 6. 18-12 your score. And a hit. It's well hit, and it's going out into left field, and it's over the fence for another home run. So Alexa Bell with a solo homer chips away at that Hobbs lead. Now it is 18-13. So 18-13.
Senior Alexa Bell.
Just the 1 out. So Lovington with a couple of outs left to play with. They're down by 5, but still at bat. They've got to at least tie it to force extra innings. Or if they can get a breakout at bat like Hobbs just enjoyed, they could actually go ahead and win this game. Coming up to bat, number 10, Siena De Porto, your catcher. And floats a ball right over the corner, outside corner for call, strike 1. So Young taking a lot of speed off of that. Sends it over the outside corner. De Porto looked at it hard, let it go. This one she goes ahead and swings at. It's a grounder over to Boyle. Boyle throws it to first and throws De Porto out for the 2nd out. So Lovington now has got to have a 2-out rally and try to get at least 5 runs across to keep themselves alive in this game.
Into the box, number 7, Annelie Chavarria.
Coming up to the plate, number 7, Annelie Chavarria, your left fielder. First pitch is going to be wide, high and outside for ball 1. So Lovington looking to get a 2-out rally going. Now the breakout inning. They scored 6 runs in that 3rd inning, and this is going to fall in as for a hit into shallow center field. A nice hit, Chavarria with a little shallow outfield hit. A single puts her on first base. Number 9, Jocelyn Olguin, your first baseman, up to bat for Lovington. She hit a single her last time up. She's hit 2 singles and struck out and reached on an error. So a runner on first now for Lovington, 2 outs. And Olguin up at the plate. First ball was a ball, so 1-0. This one she hits, and it's a high fly ball, and it is caught. And that's it. Hobbs wins this one, 18-13. Your final score. We'll be back to wrap this one up as Hobbs gets the win. 18-13, your final score. Hobbs beating Lovington, and we'll be back to wrap this one up with more Lady Eagle, Lady Wildcats softball, and in Lovington. back to the wrap-up of this Lovington-Hobbs softball game in Lovington. Hobbs won 18-13. The game went full 7 innings. And here's how we got there. Hobbs scoring the 18 runs on 21 hits. They left 10 on base. They commit 2 errors. And Lovington had the 13 runs on 17 hits. They left 9 on base. They commit 3 errors. And Hobbs ended up using 2 pitchers. It was Bennett who started. Young came in relief. And Lovington also using 2 pitchers. Udahara starting and Rodriguez coming in relief. And at the end of play, of course, Hobbs ended up forging ahead in the top of the 7th in their at-bat. And Lovington was not able to put any runs except one, that solo homer, in the bottom of the 7th inning. And they were not able to stay in the game and come back. But there were a number of home runs that were hit. And there was a 3-run homer hit by De Porto. And then the solo homer that was hit by Alexa Bell. And for Hobbs.
And a solo home run by Leila Hernandez.
Yes, Leila Hernandez with the solo homer. Thank you for pointing that out. That's right. She did that in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And then for Hobbs, there were back-to-back home runs that were hit by Cantu and Garcia in that bottom of the 7th inning. And those were the home runs for Hobbs. I don't think I had written down any other homers for Hobbs. So that's how it went. It was a back-and-forth seesaw game with excitement, and it came down to that 7th inning. It came down to that final at-bat for Hobbs, and Lovington just not able to come back and put enough runs on the board to win this one. But they are going to we will not have that on this. We're going to start our broadcast, but Lovington is about to honor their seniors, have senior night tonight here in Lovington. So thank you for watching, for listening. Lovington losing this one, Hobbs picking up another win, and I believe that makes Hobbs 6-2 on the season. I believe they are 6-2, 6-2 on the season. And we don't know exactly when the next game that we will have on the air for either Hobbs or Lovington will be, but we know that we will have district games on the air.
I'm thinking it'll be, today is the 18th, I'm thinking it'll be about 10 days from now.
In about 10 days.
I don't have the schedules in front of me.
About 10 or 11 days we'll have more softball on the air for you or here. So in the meantime, be watching our Facebook pages for posts and game times, and we thank you for listening and watching. And for TJ Miracle, I'm Dawn Morgan wrapping things up here. Again, a win for Hobbs, 18-13, your final score in Lovington. Good night, everybody.